Okay, you want to go ahead and monetize off of your personal brand, but unfortunately you have no following. What do you go ahead and do? Well, I'm going to go ahead and show you that. My name is Rich. I've been running a community here, a pretty exclusive community for tech professionals that are looking to go ahead and monetize off of their personal brand. And although a lot of people have really loved the program, one of the things that I always get all the time is like, Rich, how do I go ahead and launch? Like, how do I even get started? Because I don't have foot traffic. And I 100% empathize with you. When I first started in tech recruiting, going in from tech recruiting to monetizing off as a career coach, and then ultimately becoming like a bootcamp owner, and then now consulting other boot camps and doing so many other things. Um, you know, Here's the thing, right? Like, I knew I could get people jobs. So for those of you who don't know me, like, I help people get product manager jobs. I help people get tech sales jobs. I help people break into cybersecurity, right? I had a tech recruiting background, so in terms of like resumes, LinkedIn, cover letters, how to interview, how to prepare for interviews, sound negotiations, how to job hunt more effectively, how to network with recruiters, I knew all that shit. In terms of like, if you put people that are actually serious about doing a program in front of my face, I have the experience, the knowledge, the expertise, the insights, the know-how, the tenacity to go out there and basically sell them and collect cash from their pocket. The problem is, how do I get those people to find me? And also, how do I find those people? The lead generation part of it was difficult, right? So right now, it's more important than ever for you to go ahead and build a personal brand. And if you don't feel that way, then, well, this video is not for you. But let's just say that you're bought in and you're already even in my program. Like, what's one of the fastest way to scale your personal brand, especially in the world of tech? Well, I'll go ahead and actually tell you guys. It's actually one of the ways that you can do it. I'm not saying it's the only way, but one of the ways that you can do it is actually with podcasts. And this is actually what my mastermind right here, Boss Life, is kind of about, is actually bringing together like-minded, ambitious individuals that want more beyond just the 9 to 5. Ultimately, they want to escape the 9 to 5. So I'll tell you this. I'm going to walk you through, this is an entire YouTube playlist because I try to keep these videos as short as possible. What you have to understand with monetizing off a podcast in 2025 is that you can't do it by yourself. You absolutely can't do it by yourself. You have to do it with other people, and you have to do it with other cool people. Where are you going to find other cool people? In my boss school right here. So don't be cheap. Click on it because I'm about to up the rate because I only want high quality people in my boss school. So with that said, let's go ahead and get on it, right? Uh, if you take a look at like the traditional podcast, what a lot of people see is basically it's going to be like one like a Lex Friedman. Another one that's very popular is going to be like Diary of a CEO. You'll have things like let's see here, what's one that we all know and love? Let's see it. Joe Rogan, obviously. It's the one-to-one. And why does podcasts do very well is because people love listening to people talk shit all day doing nothing. But the one-to-one podcast model, unless you have like a very good guest, that model is done. It's absolutely done. If you want to start a podcast, what you want to go ahead and do is you want to get 4 people in here, 3 to 4 people, ideally max 5. The 5th person is usually a guest, where you can go ahead and launch this because people love value these days, right? People love getting a lot of value. So if it was just my opinion, people don't really give a shit. I could be right, I could be wrong, but they feel like, well, in the same 25 minutes, I can actually watch somebody like 4 people express their opinion versus 1 person express their opinion. And generally speaking, these podcasts last about the same amount of time. So I'll have like a great example of that is going to be like Value Entertainment. They got a few people. They got this guy, that guy's the guest, and they're talking about something highly political, which is what I'm going to talk about. Another thing, which is like to blow up your podcast quickly, you want to talk about recent events, and I'm going to break down that whole thing. If you take a look at like Fresh and Fit, right, this podcast, they usually have about 4 people on there, at least 4 people. This guy here, it's so funny. He has a podcast where he's just like him and at least 1 or 2 guys is shaming OnlyFans girls. But the hilarious thing is the people that are shaming OnlyFans girls attracts a demographic of guys that usually subscribe to OnlyFans girls. And that's why these OnlyFans girls show up there, because they'll take the public shaming, but at the same time, they'll see their subscription rate go up. because you'll have a bunch of these young guys saying like, yeah, I would never date an only. Like those girls are horrible being on OnlyFans, and then they're the ones also secretly subscribing to those girls' OnlyFans. So I was actually wondering for the longest time, why would they show up there? If you take another one like Nelk Boys, usually 4 to 5 guys that are on there. Flagrant, 4 to 5 people. This one here is a guilty pleasure of mine. They talk a lot about like Asian American dating for Asian Americans. 4 people. Sometimes they have like a guess. This one here, The Shop. They've got like at least 4 to 6 people out there usually talking shit, right, about something. For those people that don't know, to monetize a podcast quickly with like you need followers, and in order to get followers you need views, and in order to get views you need a lot of people. So what you want to go ahead and do is tag on. People constantly say, Rich, you have a personal brand already. Have one person like myself, or you can find somebody else if you can, to go at that already has a personal brand, and you're tacking on those other people that want to start building their personal brand. This is a part of the reason why we launch so many testimonials in all of my programs. It's like we want to get all those people that are on there, because the more people that are on there, think about it. You're not gonna you're not gonna fly to Vegas for a conference if there's only 1 or 2 people coming out, or like 10 or 20 people coming out. But you're talking about 400 or 500 people coming out. You just feel like you're getting 400 or 500x the value, right? Get a few friends together and start building up the podcast. The most important thing is you have to have some cool, like-minded individuals. Luckily for me, I have access to those people. So if you want to be a part of our mastermind, you want to be a part of our crew, go ahead, join Boss School. And more importantly of all, here's the thing. When you actually have a group podcast, I think these are the benefits that nobody talks about in our racket, is that it actually forces you to be recording consistently. And a lot of people don't do that. It also forces people to come now with topics, because we're not going to collectively waste our time. On the back end, in the rest of this playlist, I'm going to talk about those videos need to be, there has to be the total thing, and it has to be edited and cut down to individual segments, and then now posted up on everybody's individual YouTube and individual Instagrams. And, we just got TikTok back. So it just scales up. It just force multiplies your brand faster. Obviously, I could talk all day about this, but I'm looking at my other spreadsheet here. The next video in this is like, what are the hottest podcast topics for fast YouTube monetization? Because when you also get more views, and you take a look at these views, that YouTube channel is also printing cash for you guys. So you want to get it on one podcast, but like everybody else has their own individual YouTube channel. They're posting those videos too, and it's just spreading like fire. Yep. I say that thing with a heavy heart, because my hometown, for those people that know me, I am born and raised in LA. My parents are still out there, so I'm not making light of the situation. But you guys get what it is that I mean. Okay, see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, and definitely see you in school. Don't be late to school. Let's go ahead and print cash.